In a world where every second demands more of your attention, where you're pulled in every direction by endless to-do lists, notifications, and expectations, it's easy to feel like you're drowning, like the noise of modern life is swallowing you whole. But what if there was a way to silence that noise? To face every day, every moment with clarity, calm, and control? What if a 2,000-year-old philosophy could hold the key to not just surviving but thriving in the chaos of the modern world? Today, we're diving deep into the philosophy of Stoicism, a powerful, timeless way of thinking that has helped some of the greatest minds in history, and it can help you too. Whether you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or searching for meaning, Stoicism offers a roadmap to finding peace, strength, and purpose. But be warned, this isn't some quick fix, feel-good philosophy. Stoicism asks you to face life's challenges head-on, to accept uncomfortable truths, and to take full responsibility for your own mind. This is not about hiding from the world. This is about embracing it fully. The first thing to understand about Stoicism is that it's not just a set of ideas. It's a way of living. Stoicism teaches that while you can't control what happens to you, you can control how you react. It's about shifting the focus from external circumstances, things you can't change, to your internal world. Your thoughts, your decisions, your attitude. In ancient Greece, where Stoicism was born, life was unpredictable and often brutal. War, disease, loss, these were daily realities. But the Stoics believed that no matter how chaotic the world around you might be, true happiness and peace come from mastering your mind. Imagine for a moment that you're a ship at sea. The waves are crashing, the wind is howling, and you're being tossed in every direction. Most people in life are like that ship, struggling against the waves, trying to fight against the forces of nature. But the Stoic sees things differently. They know they can't control the wind or the waves, but they can control how they steer their ship. They can decide how they react to the storm. And in today's world, where social media, politics, and personal pressures create a constant storm of stress, Stoicism offers a way to navigate that storm with calm, purpose, and strength. At the heart of Stoicism are three powerful ideas: controlling what you can, focusing on virtue, and practicing negative visualization. Let's start with the first. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Most of us spend our lives fighting against things we have no control over. We worry about how other people perceive us, about things that happened in the past, about outcomes we can't predict. But the Stoics taught a radical idea. You can't control the external world, but you can always control your mind. You can control how you respond. Think about the last time you got angry. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, or a coworker was rude. In that moment, you probably felt like the situation was controlling you. But Stoicism teaches that no one can make you angry unless you allow it. The event itself is neutral. It's your reaction that gives it meaning. Imagine if, instead of letting other people or circumstances dictate your mood, you learn to control your reactions. Imagine if you could face every situation with calm and clarity, knowing that while you can't control the world, you can control how you experience it. This is where the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control comes in. There are two categories in life: things you can control and things you can't. The Stoics say you should focus all your energy on the things you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your character, and let go of everything else. That means letting go of worrying about other people's opinions, the past, or what might happen tomorrow. The next principle is even more challenging for many people, focusing on virtue rather than success. In our world, success is often defined by external measures: wealth, fame, social status. But the Stoics believe that true success comes from living in accordance with your values, from building your character, not chasing rewards. Think about it. How many times have you achieved something only to find that the satisfaction was fleeting? Maybe you got the promotion, hit a financial goal, or received praise from others, but the feeling didn't last. The Stoics would say that's because real happiness doesn't come from these external rewards. It comes from living a life of integrity, courage, and wisdom, virtue. When you live according to these values, the rewards might come, but even if they don't, you'll still find peace because you know you're living true to yourself. Imagine approaching life with that mindset, no longer chasing the endless cycle of external validation, but building unshakable confidence in who you are based on the strength of your character. The third principle of Stoicism is perhaps the most surprising: practicing negative visualization. In today's world, we're constantly told to think positive, to focus on what we want, to manifest good things into our lives. But the Stoics had a different approach. They believed that regularly imagining the worst-case scenario could actually help you live a more peaceful, fulfilled life. It sounds strange, right? Why would you want to think about things going wrong? Well, think about this. How often do you take your health, your relationships, or even your everyday comforts for granted? Probably all the time. Negative visualization is a way to remind yourself that nothing in life is guaranteed. By imagining losing what you have, whether it's your health, your job, or even your loved ones, you start to appreciate these things more deeply. And when things do go wrong, as they inevitably will, you're mentally prepared to handle it. This isn't about being pessimistic. It's about being realistic, and it's one of the most powerful mental tools the Stoics developed. They knew that life is unpredictable and that suffering is a part of the human experience. But by facing this truth head-on, they were able to find peace in the present moment, appreciating life for what it is, rather than always wishing for something more. So, how can you start applying these principles in your own life? How can you begin to live with the Stoic mindset, finding strength, peace, and resilience in the face of modern challenges? It all starts with awareness. Every day, we're faced with moments where we react without thinking, moments of frustration, stress, or anger. The first step to living stoically is recognizing these moments and consciously choosing how to respond. When something goes wrong, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, decide how you can take action in a way that aligns with your values. Start practicing negative visualization in your daily life. When you wake up in the morning, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for, but also imagine how things might be taken away. Not to depress yourself, but to remind yourself that life is fragile and every day is a gift. Now, let's go deeper into the daily practices that can help you fully embrace Stoicism in modern life. These practices, passed down from the great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, are designed not just to be philosophical ideas, but practical tools you can use to build a more resilient and grounded mind. The first practice is journaling. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, used this every day to reflect on his thoughts and actions. His personal journal, known today as Meditations, wasn't written for anyone else. It was a way for him to hold himself accountable, to track his progress, and to stay focused on his Stoic principles. When you journal, it's not about recording the events of the day, but rather about reflecting on how you handled the challenges you faced. Did you respond to stress with patience? Did you focus on the things you could control? Were your actions aligned with your values? By reflecting regularly, you begin to develop a deeper understanding of your thoughts and actions. And this awareness is what allows you to live more intentionally. Imagine how different your life could be if, instead of rushing through each day on autopilot, you took just a few minutes every evening to reflect on your own growth, to check in with yourself and make small adjustments for tomorrow. This is how real transformation happens, not in one big leap, but through daily, mindful effort. Next, there's the practice of mindfulness, something that has become increasingly popular in recent years, but has roots deeply embedded in Stoicism. The Stoics believed in being fully present in each moment, fully aware of their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions. This kind of mindfulness is essential if you want to live a Stoic life because it helps you break free from the cycle of reactive thinking. Think about how often you go through the day without really being present. Maybe you're sitting at work, but your mind is somewhere else, thinking about the past, worrying about the future, or scrolling through your phone without even realizing it. Stoicism teaches that these distractions are not only unnecessary, but harmful. They pull you away from the present moment where your true power lies. Mindfulness helps you reconnect with the now, with the only moment that truly exists. It's in the present that you make choices, that you live your life, that you find clarity and peace. The more you practice being mindful, the more you'll notice that your mind becomes quieter, your reactions slower, and your sense of control grows stronger. One of the most liberating ideas in Stoicism is that external events are neither good nor bad. They just are. It's our interpretation of these events that causes us to suffer. This brings us to one of the most famous Stoic exercises, reframing. Let's say you lose your job. For most people, this would feel like a catastrophe, something to be feared and dreaded. But the Stoic would ask, what is truly bad about this event? Is it the job loss itself, or is it your judgment of the event? Stoics believe that nothing in life is inherently negative. It's your perspective that creates the suffering. Reframing is the practice of consciously changing your perspective. Instead of seeing a challenge as something to fear, the Stoic sees it as an opportunity to grow, to build resilience, to practice their virtues. Every setback becomes a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. So the next time you face a challenge, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I grow from this? What can I learn? How can I turn this obstacle into an advantage?" This mindset shift is incredibly powerful because it transforms how you experience life. Instead of being at the mercy of your circumstances, you become the creator of your experience. Now, I want to talk about one of the most profound Stoic practices, the acceptance of death. This is a topic most people try to avoid, but the Stoics believe that by confronting the reality of death, we can learn to live more fully. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the impermanence of life, reminding himself that every day could be his last. This wasn't a morbid obsession, it was a way to stay grounded in what truly matters. When you accept that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on trivial things. You stop getting caught up in petty dramas, you stop chasing superficial rewards, and you start focusing on what truly matters, living a life of purpose, of virtue, of meaning. The Stoics practice something called Memento Mori, a daily reminder that they will die. This wasn't meant to inspire fear, but to inspire action, to remind them to make the most of every moment, to live fully, without regret. How much of your life do you waste on things that don't matter? How often do you get caught up in worries, fears, or distractions, forgetting that your time is precious? When you embrace the reality of death, you become more present, more intentional, and more alive. So how can you apply Memento Mori to your daily life? Start by reminding yourself each morning that this could be your last day. Not in a fearful way, but in a way that sharpens your focus. What would you do differently if you knew your time was limited? Would you spend more time with the people you love? Would you take more risks? Would you stop worrying so much about what others think of you? By embracing death, you actually free yourself to live more fully. You stop putting off the things that matter. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, and you start living with purpose today. The final Stoic practice I want to share with you is something called Amor Fati, or the love of fate. This is the Stoic idea that we should not only accept everything that happens to us, but embrace it fully. The good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly, all of it is part of our story, part of our path. Think of life as a great unfolding, where every event is woven into the fabric of your existence for a reason. The Stoics believe that everything happens according to nature's plan, and that resisting this plan only creates suffering. But when you learn to love your fate, to embrace everything that happens as part of your journey, you find peace. Imagine how different your life could be if, instead of resisting the difficult moments, you embrace them. Instead of seeing obstacles as something to be avoided, you saw them as necessary steps on your path. Amor Fati is about accepting everything that life throws your way with open arms, knowing that every experience, every hardship, every challenge is helping you become who you are meant to be. This is where true freedom lies, not in avoiding hardship or pain, but in fully embracing it. When you stop resisting life, when you accept and love your fate, you unlock a sense of peace and strength that can carry you through anything. Now that you've explored the key practices of Stoicism, imagine what your life could look like if you truly embrace this philosophy. Instead of reacting to life's ups and downs with stress and anxiety, you could face every challenge with calm, with strength, and with confidence. Instead of being pulled in 1,000 different directions by your emotions or the opinions of others, you could stand firm in your values, unshaken by the chaos around you. But this transformation doesn't happen overnight. Stoicism, like anything worth pursuing, is a practice. It's a daily commitment to seeing the world differently, to taking responsibility for your own mind, and to living with purpose. Start small. Maybe today you commit to journaling for a few minutes each night, reflecting on your thoughts and actions. Maybe you set aside just 5 minutes to practice mindfulness, to become more aware of your thoughts and emotions. Or perhaps you begin with reframing, catching yourself in the middle of a negative thought and asking, how can I see this differently? These small steps may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they compound. Over time, you'll notice that you're no longer controlled by your impulses, that you're more patient, more focused, and more resilient. And when life throws its inevitable challenges your way, you'll be ready. Imagine how empowering it would be to go through life knowing that no matter what happens, you have the tools to face it. That no matter how chaotic the world becomes, you have the ability to stay grounded, to stay centered, and to stay in control. The Stoics believe that true happiness, true freedom, comes not from what we have, but from who we become. It's not about controlling external circumstances. It's about mastering the only thing we can truly control, ourselves. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the demands of modern life, remember that the answer lies not in the outside world, but within you. Stoicism offers you a roadmap, a way to navigate the chaos of life with grace, with strength, and with purpose. This ancient philosophy may have been born thousands of years ago, but its wisdom is more relevant today than ever. In a world that's constantly pulling you in different directions, Stoicism reminds you to come back to yourself, to stay grounded, to focus on what truly matters. In the end, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of living. It's a practice of aligning your thoughts, your actions, and your values. It's about learning to see challenges as opportunities, to embrace everything life has to offer, and to cultivate a deep sense of peace, no matter what. You have the power to transform your life. You have the power to become the master of your own mind. And once you do that, you'll discover that true freedom lies not in what you can control out there, but in who you choose to become right here, within yourself. This is why you should embrace Stoicism, because it offers you a path to a better life, a more peaceful life, and a life of true freedom. The choice is yours. Will you choose to let life control you, or will you choose to take control of yourself? Thank you for watching, and remember, your life is yours to shape. Embrace it with intention, embrace it with purpose, and most importantly, embrace it with the wisdom of Stoicism.